This show is sponsored by PowerfulWomenUSA.com. Hey everybody, I'm Jill Conway, and this is Secrets of Powerful Women, a show dedicated to celebrating and supporting strong and successful women and sharing their stories. I'm hoping that you will be inspired to pursue your dreams, feel empowered, reclaim your voice, discover your strengths, and dream bigger. So my guest today is Josephine Fitzpatrick, and Josephine is a weight loss and nutrition coach for over 20 years to A-list celebrities and many Long Islanders. Founder of Innovation Healthy Market and author of Cheat Day Rules, which I love the title of that. She also hosts a podcast called Love to Live Healthy. Josephine, thank you for being here and welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here.
So Josephine, you're a nutrition and weight loss specialist. Mm-hmm. So tell me what you do exactly.
Well, I basically see clients for weight loss. I do health, but majority of my clientele is definitely weight loss. I make up menus for them. I hold their hand. I talk to them 24/7. I also, I do meal plans for them. We have a store in Woodbury where it is definitely open to the public, so it's not only just for weight loss. We have so many people who go there just to eat healthy because everything's portioned and made with healthier ingredients.
Wow. All right. So how did you get started on this whole journey? I know you were pretty young when you started, mm-hmm. right? So
yes. So, well, we mentioned before we were talking.
Always. We always have good stuff when we're not filming, right?
I come from a family of cancer. And, not only just cancer, my mother and my sister both passed away young. My sister was 53. My mother was 59.
Oh, wow. I'm sorry.
Thank you. And my father was a diabetic. Mm-hmm. And I was about, 14, 15, and he was in the hospital. Many times he was in the hospital, but this one particular time, somebody brought him fruit, and all his alarms went off because, it spiked his insulin.
Right.
And I was thinking, fruit, and I remember specifically the doctor walking over to me saying, there's natural sugar in fruit, but it's still sugar, and your body's going to process it, and that's why his alarms went off. He was trying to console me because I was upset,
Yeah, sure.
But at that moment, I was like, wow. That was just so intriguing to me, so interesting. I was like, I need to know more. Mm-hmm. And basically, that's how my journey started. And then, of course, when my mom and my sister, they were sick and, they passed pretty quickly. I just felt like, okay, I was always the type of person to help people, but it just even became more for me,
right,
to just make people happy. And honestly, weight loss makes people happy.
Well, they feel good, right?
Yeah, they feel great, and it is, I do have really, really good results with it. And I will say I'm really proud of, because I've been in Woodbury for 15 years. I have all of the clients that I started still come to me. Even though they don't have to lose weight, they come to me to shop. They just text me. They're always in my office. It's wonderful. It just feels like you've made an impact on someone's life,
Sure, for sure. Well, it's so powerful because, when you look good, you feel good.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
Right. And I know it's kind of like a cliche saying, but
yeah, but it's really not, because honestly, I've seen people, and again, a big part of my, weight loss is they text me 24/7. So they will go on the scale and it can ruin their day.
Right.
Literally, So it's really important that, listen, it shouldn't be all about the number, and it's really not. I think the number is just a guide to show us how we're doing and where we're at. But it's really about feeling good in your clothes, and it really does make a big difference for people.
So, you talked about your family and your father. I read about what happened to your father. I mean, he got very sick, right?
He was very sick, and it was over years and years, because they literally, the diabetes took him, he had an amputated leg, and then he got a stroke from that, and then he had another leg amputated. So it was like piece by piece. It was terrible. But he always had such a great spirit. Even when we put him in the nursing home, he would be literally, you'd walk in there, he'd be singing to all the people, because he was, big Italian man.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, all right. So so how did the market come into this?
So
you had clients.
I had so many clients.
Ooh, that was me. Sorry, I hit the mic. I got so excited.
I had so many clients in Woodbury, and it's funny how things happen. So I'll tell you two quick things. One, how...
Doesn't have to be quick.
Okay.
We got time. Okay.
One, how my online started, because it's really funny. I was doing online clients way before the pandemic. I'm talking 10, 12 years ago, because I was so busy and I was working all the time, and I got sick. I had a really bad bronchitis, but I had 50 people, maybe even 100 at that time, waiting to see me.
Wow.
And I felt so bad canceling them. So I said, I can work from home. I'll send you paperwork, you fill it out, and I will put your menu together and send it to you. And that's how our online started. But when I tell you, I have clients everywhere. I have, California, all over the world. I have online clients that I've never met. And they do great. They lose weight because it's, again, constant communication, We ship the food tri-state. So it's really a nice story, because sometimes things happen and come out of the least way you would expect,
Sure. Well, it happens for a reason,
yes,
right?
Exactly, yeah. But the market was almost the same thing. The clients were doing great. They were losing weight, but, they were really having a hard time finding foods they can eat. Now, so you understand about our market, a big part of what I preach is I want you to be able to eat foods you love, because listen, you're eating a lot less when you're losing weight, and that's a big part of weight loss. And it's one of the hardest things that people have to get through is, I have to eat less, I'm going to be hungry.
Yes.
So you want to love what you are eating. And that's where I had teamed up. My husband comes from a family of restaurants, and
Oh boy! Oh my goodness!
Yes, he's amazing. He's literally the best cook he's like my chef Pierre. I tell him all the time.
Wow.
But he runs the kitchens for me. I have 3 commercial kitchens. I have the best baker. And what we did was we created foods like, really healthier versions of foods that you love, like a healthy muffin that's based with Greek yogurt, and just different things that you would love and look forward to eating.
Right.
And people love it, and it's great, but it also helps you lose weight. I have clients now, I shouldn't say clients, they're customers, because I don't even know them, but they'll come in and they'll tell like my manager or my staff, like, oh, I've been losing weight every week just eating the food, because it's portioned and it's healthier.
Right.
So it's nice, because it kind of gives even, anyone the opportunity to come and do that, where some people will just come in and eat it because it's just healthy. But that's how we started, because... To go back, sorry.
Yeah, I know. Come back.
That's how we started, was because I found that they couldn't get foods they really loved that was helping them lose weight.
Well, and here we go back to the apple, right? Because everyone just thinks
exactly
that fruits and vegetables are so good for you. You can have 1,000 apples, but can you?
No, you can't. And that's the thing, I think even the whole food pyramid, and I won't go into that, but...
Oh, you can, because I agree with you.
It's completely wrong, and I think it's a big part of why so many people are overweight and obese. It's the wrong information.
So how would you create one? If you could create what's the most important?
I think you need a balance of protein, healthy carbs, healthy fat, fiber, and just not 7 of them a day. And this is the other thing. I think we're misinformed or uneducated, where I have had people, very, very educated men and women, come in and think that, well, I have to have a potato with my dinner, and I'd be like, why?
Right.
You don't need to have that.
Potatoes,
yes.
Josephine,
it's just
right?
It's the mindset,
right.
Of what you learned, and that's what you take with you,
Right. And what we've been programmed
exactly
throughout our lives to think, no, that's healthy.
Right.
Just have your pasta.
Right.
Because everyone's had it. And it's got to be good.
And that's the other flip side of it.
Which it is good.
I do believe that, yes, you can have pasta if you're eating it the right way with a protein, but the portion's going to be different.
Right.
It has to be.
Right. Well, is the secret to weight loss the same for everyone, or is it different for everyone?
It's so different. I could have for example, I could have 2 women the same age, the same size, the same weight, height, weight, and they will eat the same thing, and one will lose weight and one will not. It's the way your body processes food. It's the way, your metabolism works. Some people have resistant fat. Everyone is different.
Wow.
It's very individual.
No, that's just crazy. I mean, but so you have worked with, like well-known celebrities. Have you actually like worked one-on-one with them, or you find that they're in your like
Both.
They're in your database, like they use you, right?
Right.
But I read that you have a 99% success rate. That's extraordinary.
Yeah, and of course it takes work though. It's the people they come in, and I have turned people away where I'm like, you're just not ready. Don't do this to yourself. You're not ready.
Well, why not? Why wouldn't they be ready? Mindset?
The mindset is most of the time just that they're not looking, like they'll say, I just can't be hungry. So, and I'm like, you're going to be hungry. There's no way around it. You have to eat less than what you're eating right now. You're eating too much right now, but you're still eating less is going to make you a little hungry. You're going to have, not all day, but you'll have points in the day where you're going to be hungry. And you have to just be honest with yourself, like, okay, what do I want more? Do I want to lose weight? Am I okay to be a little hungry,
It's so funny because I was listening to one of your podcasts, and you said, like, eating too much got you to this position, right? Got you that weight, which is not something people, I think, want to admit, right?
All the time.
No one wants to admit that. Like, what do you mean? I have to give up that chocolate that I love, or I have to give up, I love pizza, So, like,
and you don't, because I do believe in, like, that's why I call it the cheat day, or mindful cheat day or cheat meal, depending on the person. But I do believe that you should incorporate it.
Sure.
Once a week. It's usually, for my clients, they go out to dinner with their, significant other or their friends or whatever, and they will have their cheat that night, But again, this is just strictly for weight loss. When you're maintaining, you have so much more flexibility.
Right.
When you're trying to lose weight, you need to be at a negative every day. So that's where I say, like, those 6 days, that's why the cheat works so well for people, because it's like the light at the end of the week every week. But it really helps them stay on program the 6 days a week, and that's what creates the weight loss.
And those 6 days are different for everybody. So it would be like, fasting come into some people and not others? And
some people fast, especially, like, I'll tell you, people who do really well with fasting is women who are either going through menopause or after, because your body needs less. It's just running so much slower. So when you learn to fast, you're taking in less in a shorter amount of time.
Right.
So that they really do well with it. Almost every client that I had before menopause that came to me back after, that was struggling again, as soon as I put them fasting, they do so much better.
Right. Well, it's funny because I've started fasting a little while ago again, and I'm postmenopausal, so it's completely, it like that, right? Like, and it's so interesting. But also, I think it's so funny because I think people that I know have said, well, I can't go without milk in my coffee, let's say, in the morning, or I can't wait to have my coffee at noon instead of, I'm in the routine. I get up, I put my coffee on, I put creamer on, whatever it is. And is it really, would you say it is, like you said, a mindset where you have to break the routine?
Yes, but I wouldn't say to that extreme, as far as, like, if your creamer means that much in your coffee, then you have to give up something else in the day.
Oh.
Yeah, it's because it goes by the day.
Right.
It's literally, you want each day to be a weight loss day. I always say it's either going to be a weight loss, a maintain, or a gain. Oh. You never want to gain.
Right.
And you want to try not to maintain. And maintaining is going to be if you're just having too much, because even too much healthy is too much.
Right.
So to lose weight, again, you got to be less. And if you want that creamer, well, then give up something else. Just like I have clients who will drink wine every day.
Right.
And that's their snack. They don't have another snack. That's their snack.
Is it calorie counting, or is it like
it's really not
macros?
It's portion, and it's per person, really. Because like I said, I could have someone who can eat 1,500 calories and lose, and same person, same exact body style, eat 1,500 calories and gain.
Do you think people, and this is I don't mean it the way it sounds, but I'm going to say it anyway. Do you think people are truthful to you in all the ways that they're like, or do you sense sometimes that they're not being truthful with what they've eaten?
So it's very funny because I do spend a tremendous amount of time with my clients, even the ones I don't meet online, texting, and I will talk to them, and I usually know I'm really good at reading people, but also because I've been doing it for so long. And I will go through I have them text me every night what they eat and drink. And so sometimes I'll be like, but Tuesday you went off. And, and then they're like, oh, sometimes they really did forget.
Right.
Sometimes they chose to forget.
Right, exactly. Is it also like, do you find that, because I'm so interested in this, because some people have that meal after or that snack at late at night, right? And for me, that's something I should not have, you know. But is that like that's the faux pas? Or
yeah.
no?
Well, you're talking about like what time of day you eat matters, and it doesn't, because that snack's going to hurt you if you already ate everything you were supposed to. So say I said to you, I'm putting you on 3 meals and 2 snacks.
Okay.
If you have your 3 meals and 2 snacks and then have another snack, yes, that's going to hurt you at night. But if you save your snack for night, it's not going to hurt you. You're going to lose weight because you're still sticking to but you see, in order to save that snack at night, some point in the day you're going to be hungry because you normally would have that, but now you're saving it. But the hunger goes away, and I really try to stress that. And I think the clients, so many of them really believe in it, and they do it. And I say, because you have to believe in the program for it to work for you.
Right.
And like I said, so many have been with me for so long, and even the new ones, it's their children, and it goes on and on. But you really learn, like, okay, it's a little bit hungry, but it passes. And then your body gets used to it because you're shrinking your appetite, you're shrinking your stomach,
Right.
And once that happens, you don't feel that hunger anymore.
Right. It's hard for most people, though.
Of course.
Right.
Listen, it's hard for anybody, especially the first couple of weeks.
Right. Well, that's probably the hardest.
And there's temptation everywhere.
Well, what about the holiday season? Because here we are, right? This is like fat season. Like you just keep eating everything, and every party, every time you go out, right?
Right. And honestly, yesterday I probably did 100 menus because it was after Thanksgiving weekend.
So you create. So tell me the clients they hire you, and then you create a menu for them.
Right. And I change it multiple times depending on what they're doing. I have a detox program that they do. Not everyone, but I will, for example, with the holiday, I will have them detox before and after. And that gives them a little flexibility over their weekend, you know?
Yeah.
And again, some people are getting ready for a wedding. Some people are getting ready for something specific, and they are sharks. They are not going off. They have their 6 days on, 1 day off, and that was Thanksgiving, and they went right back on.
Right.
So again, it depends on the person,
But how many people do we know that do that, right? And it's an event that they're waiting for. And then right after the event, they go back to their old ways.
100%,
right?
yep.
Right.
And again, I think it depends on who the clients are, because I will tell you, honestly, for a lot of mine, that's who they are. They want to be thin. They want to be at their lowest numbers. They don't care their age. They just want to live like that. They want to live healthy. They feel great like that.
Well, you're in great shape. So what is your daily menu and health routine look like?
So I do run every day. I run 8 miles every day, no matter what. I also do 2 meals and 1 snack.
Okay.
And I usually don't eat until about 3 o'clock, sometimes later.
And then, so how big is your window then to eat? Do you stop at a certain time?
Yes, normally during the week I'll do like 3 to 7. I don't really, a lot of times I'll start later, but I usually always try to end around 7. Sometimes I don't end until 10.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, all right. So you also, so I wrote down, you launched an all natural food line. No chemicals, no preservatives, you prepared fresh every day. And that must have took a great amount of research to do and to make so many people happy. Right.
And we still work every day creating new meals, new snacks, new things that people love, Wow. It's a lot of trial and error.
Sure. And what about allergies, or
We have everything. We have gluten-free, we have vegan, we have keto, we have high protein, we have balanced meals. We have everything you could imagine, everything's of course labeled, so peanut allergies,
How many clients do you have now, as you say?
Clients, probably about 300 in studio and 1,000 online.
300 clients that are texting you at 24/7.
And the clients online, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I'm always on my phone. Always.
Wow.
Yeah.
How do you create a balance then?
I work all the time, honestly.
Yeah.
You know, I really do. And anyone that knows me will tell you that. I love it. And that's why, you know, we were talking before, I preach to my kids all the time, like, make sure you love what you do. Because then, you know, at least on the hardest of days, because you, especially owning your own business. Like, owning your own business is a whole different thing. I am, you know, there's no off the clock for me.
Right.
Ever. So I always say, like, don't try to look for shortcuts. Just show up for yourself and surround yourself with people who want this as much as you do.
Oh, that's hard, right?
It's very hard. It takes a lot. I'm at a good place right now. I have great people around me.
I was going to say, because it's hard for someone to get on board with someone else's dream, you know, and that you can trust them.
Well, you have to, listen, it's more they have to love it too.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll be back with Josephine Fitzpatrick after the commercial break. You're listening to Secrets of Powerful Women. Join our community. Head to powerfulwomenusa.com for more information and follow us also on Instagram, Facebook, Apple, Amazon Music, Spotify, and YouTube. We'll be back. Welcome back, everybody. You're listening to Secrets of Powerful Women. Josephine Fitzpatrick is here, and she is a nutrition and weight loss specialist and founder of Innovation Healthy Market. She's a podcaster and an author. So you're not only an entrepreneur, but you are very focused, Josephine, on the spiritual connection and dealing with the whole person. So tell me about what led you to that connection of the relationship between the mind, body, and spirit.
Well, I'm always been a spiritual person. I'm very, very close with my family. My husband, my children, my growing family. My son just got married. Yes, I have 2 married now.
Congratulations.
Thank you. But it's you know, they're like the most important things to me, and I really believe that. And I've taught them everything we do in life, you know, comes back to us one way or another. I believe that. And it's not just karma. It's just I believe, like, in the universe, and I believe that there's just, you know, so much more energy out there than we really even know what to do with. And when you learn about it and you read about it and you understand it and you practice it, it's life-changing. Even for my clients, I often say, you know, you have to be in the mindset to change your life. And I've seen people where just like they're just not into, you know, they try, but they're just not in it. And then as soon as it clicks and they just realize, like, oh, like, this is something I want, and they really put their mind to it, it's life-changing. So I do believe when you have your mind, your body, and you really believe in what you're doing, every aspect of it, it's going to make a difference.
Well, it's so funny, right? Because it truly is that mind over matter type of thing where we I feel like we heard forever in our lives, but not it was almost like laughed at, like, oh, it's mind over matter.
Yeah, like another saying. Yeah.
Right. But I feel like, you know.
No, it is. I actually, so this is another doctor. I deal with a lot of doctors.
I love it.
Yeah. But one told me once, a long time ago, your mind can heal you, but it can also make you sick.
Yes.
And that's so true, because it's all your mindset. If you believe that you're sick, eventually you're going to be sick. You know, if you believe that you can be healthy and feel better and do good things, you will do that. You know, your body is so smart. Your brain is so smart.
Yeah. I don't even think we've really touched on, like, how amazing the brain is and the capabilities of the brain. We've explored so much, but nothing where, you know, I know back in the 60s, right, and the whole Stranger Things was based on it, right, the power of the mind and telepathy and things like that. But if you go back and you read about it, I mean, the CIA was doing these studies of the power of the mind in the 60s, right? So, like, it's amazing. So there's something to it.
I absolutely believe in it. I believe that when you practice it, I know you put it out there to the universe, you know, your energy, and you keep it positive. And it's not always easy to do that, but you have to make it a practice in your life. And when you do that, though, you will see what comes back is very different than if you're putting out negative energy and not even realizing it.
Well, I feel like so many people, like the RBF, right? So many people don't even know what they're broadcasting, right?
Exactly. Yes.
And they're like, "What do you mean? I don't know. I'm happy. And I'm in a good mood." And it's like, okay, yeah, I'm not seeing it. But then you don't want to be judgmental either, because
Right.
like maybe, but I don't think people really.
But it's not being
There's a
judgmental
disconnect.
if you're really trying to help someone and you're saying, listen, you have to change what you're saying, because what you're putting out there is what you're getting back. You know, so you have to change it. You have to put that positivity out there, and you have to basically believe it. Not only just say it, you have to believe it.
Well, it's so funny because I mentioned before, I'm a big Dr. Joe Dispenza fan, and he's always about visualizing and the power of the mind. But he also says, yes, you have to speak it and then feel it, and then says, what would it be like if it already. Act as if, right? So if I was 50 pounds less, what would that feel like, right? And can I see myself, and can I feel those emotions now?
Right.
You know,
it's huge. I actually just did a podcast on that, and I said, people, like, think about if you were a marathon runner and you were running through that line. That's going to make that marathon runner go another mile that day when they're training. You know, just visualizing themselves going past that, finish line.
And everyone cheering, and they're excited.
It's the visualization that you're putting in, but you're also believing in it, and that's what you're putting out there, that you're going to do this. It's going to happen. You believe you can do it, and you will do it.
Well, what's your mindset, Josephine, for business and in life? Like, what's...
I am definitely a very positive person. I believe that, if you really work hard, you will get to where you want to be. And sometimes you find a different path, but it ends up better than where you thought, but you just got to keep going forward, got to keep doing the right things. That is what's so important.
I always ask women, were there naysayers to you in the beginning, or the doubts that creep up, as that we all have?
Yes. I really live in a bubble.
It's a nice bubble, though.
I say it all the time. It's my family, it's my clients, it's my career, and I don't really pay attention to anything else, because I can't. First of all, I don't have time. But second of all, I just don't want to have that, that negative energy toward me. And a lot of times it's, it just helps me keep moving forward to where I want to get to.
Well, I think that's a beautiful thing, right? I mean, there's nothing wrong with a bubble.
No, not my bubble. I love living in my bubble.
I was going to say, my husband often says, like, what do you live in a bubble? You live in Jill's world? And it's like, well, it's a nice place.
And you know what? I'm helping people, so how bad can it be?
Right, exactly. So let's talk about Ozempic, because we briefly touched on it in the break, where we always talk about things. It is a craze right now, and so many people are on it.
Yes.
Do you think there is a place for it in the weight loss community?
Absolutely. And again, this is where I will say I don't want to judge, because I definitely think there's a place for it for people who it's basically, they're so overweight, they're so unhealthy, and if they don't lose the weight, they're going to end up in the hospital. Or something's going to get right. So definitely, I don't think there's a place for it where someone has to lose 10 pounds and they're on it, which unfortunately I know a lot of people who are doing that. Like anything else in the world, there's consequences to everything. There's as much as it is a miracle drug, because it does definitely take your appetite away. As we mentioned before, there's a lot of side effects that come with that. You don't feel good, you're nauseous, when you go off of it, unless you plan on staying on it forever. When you go off of it, your appetite is going to come back. Because it doesn't take it away forever, it takes it away while you're on it.
So, you have to be on it. You have to be on it, and it's expensive. When it's, in fact...
Especially when you're not supposed to be taking it. Like, if you're diabetic and you're taking it, your insurance most likely is covering it, you know?
Right. So it's so interesting. What about fasting? We briefly touched upon it. But, I mean, is that like the secret right now, where it doesn't cost anything, and like, how important is that?
I think fasting, I have two things that I live by with weight loss, especially with people who are really struggling. We do my detox, or we do fasting, and basically both of them really create discipline in your day. So just for an example, with the fasting, you're doing 2 meals, 1 snack, and you do it in 5 hours. Okay, knowing that that's what you're doing really kind of takes the thought out of the rest of the day. You know, that's it. So it's creating discipline in your day already. It's not, sometimes it's very hard for people to say, okay, I can have, 3 meals and 3 snacks, and then they eat, and then they're hungry, and then they're like, well, should I have this now? And then they end up eating their snacks early, but then they're hungry at night. See, the discipline's gone.
Right. Well, it really is, I guess, mindful eating, right? And because so many of us, right, you make something or we're watching TV and you just start.
Well, I will
grazing.
tell you, I have never met anyone who actually eats because they're hungry. Oh. It's never because they're hungry. It's because they're upset, they're depressed, they're bored, they're watching TV. Most of us, when we're hungry, we've already eaten. And most of us don't even know what hunger is, but that's another whole story.
Right. Well, but there you go back right to the mind-body connection, right? Are you eating to fill a void that's caused by something else?
Right. And that's very hard to know on your own.
Right.
It really is. But what I do think happens when you do create the discipline in your day. So like I know a lot of my clients are on my detox. It works great. Okay?
So what's the detox?
So the detox is a drink that we made. It's with MCT oil in it, and it helps with your appetite, it helps burn fat. And then we also do a muffin with MCT oil, and then you do meal and vegetables, okay? You can have it whenever you want, but knowing you're only eating these things in your day, it absolutely creates weight loss immediately. But you need that because you need to see that result. Right. Because that result is going to help you continue.
It's going to inspire you to keep going.
Exactly. Yeah. And even if they do it for a couple of days, because then they can go back on their program because they've already created discipline in their appetite just by doing that for a couple of days. So my point is, though, when you can create that type of discipline in your day, then you go back, you look, and you say, wow, I was eating all day and I wasn't even hungry. I can't tell you how many people will do the fasting or the detox and turn around and say, I did it. I can't believe I did it. I can't believe I lived on that. And why was I eating all day?
Right. Well, because you know what? Years ago, we didn't have access to food. And I mean, many years ago, we didn't have access to food all day long.
Right.
You had to go hunt. And
McDonald's was a treat.
Right.
Now it's like,
Oh, right. We only got that once in a while.
Fridays, if we were lucky.
Right. But even back when in the caveman time, you had to hunt for your food, or colonial times. You only had a few things here and there. You didn't have this endless pantry of foods that have, chemicals.
So much process. And I think that's another thing, which I'll bring up quick. I don't think people realize how cancers are, 80% of them are environmental.
Wow.
And a lot of times people just think it's hereditary and, and it's really not. If you really research it, it's environmental. And it's from the stuff we're eating, the stuff we're breathing, everything.
Let's talk about seed oils because that's a big buzzword right now. What do you know about seed oils? It's all types of seed oils, right?
Right. Yeah. So, they're good. I'm not big on oil to begin with. Okay. I do love the MCT oil because of what it does with your body. It really...
It's like a coconut almost, right? The MCT oil is the oil.
It comes from a coconut, yes. Okay. Yes. But it actually helps. It's even great for menopause because it really helps with hormones. Oh. So there's so many benefits to it that they've done with research. So that is definitely, I would say, my top that I love. Other than that, I really try to stay away from
all types of oil, even almond oil or avocado oil, really?
Yeah. If clients will ask me, I'll tell them, sure, use it. It's better than,
canola oil or something.
Exactly.
Right,
I didn't want to say a name, but
it's okay. You can. That's interesting. No, because I know the buzzwords. It's like all these products have all these different horrible oils, or what we're doing to our food supply, right? And all the chemicals we're putting on things that don't need to be there. And as we've heard, in Europe, in the UK, a lot of the things that are banned on the shelves there are readily available here,
right?
And we're consuming them at a large amount. So I think it will be very interesting to see how things translate over the next few years.
I think people are using too much of everything, especially here. I think it's just we're very an all or nothing, and that's again mindset.
Yeah, and you overindulge, right?
Yes.
And then you wonder, it's funny, one of your podcasts, you wonder how you got overweight when in fact, there's a reason.
Yes, right. You've been doing this to yourself.
You're doing this, right. You're you are eating too much than you need.
Right.
than your body needs.
And now
can
you
burn.
have to eat less. Kind of like you play, you pay.
Right.
It goes back to that old saying.
Right.
You did this, now you got to buckle up and be a little hungry. It's okay.
Yeah, right. You'll still survive.
You'll survive. Yeah.
So what do you I know I read something that you say just celebrate the small wins in your life and in your diet. So what does that look like for people?
Well, I have clients, again, post-menopause, or even, I shouldn't even say post-menopause or pre.
Which is such a horrible time.
Yeah, it's just everything's
legit,
running slower. Yeah. But my point is they definitely lose weight at a much slower rate. And I tell them, listen, I know you worked really hard all week and you only saw a half a pound, but you didn't gain it. You lost
That's
it.
true.
And that's a small win. And you got to just keep building on it, And it's hard in the beginning when you have 50 pounds to lose.
Yeah.
But when you keep going, I have clients and I've done podcasts where they did, they're 30 pounds and it was a pound a week.
Which is, I mean, listen, I think that's still great to lose a pound a week.
Well,
right?
it's great now because I asked them, well, looking back, would you do it again? But I was there in the office when they were crying because it was like, third weekend.
I suffered so much.
And I'd just be like, just keep going. And they did. And, we have clients 50, 60 pounds, but it was slow.
Yeah.
And that's small wins. You have to celebrate them. And you just have to say, listen, again, mindset, I didn't gain.
Right.
I didn't even maintain. I lost a half a pound. So you're going in the right direction. You got to keep going.
Well, is it healthier to lose weight at a slower scale?
It really depends. Everyone, like I said, everyone's different. I have clients who will do the detox and lose 5 to 7 pounds in a week. And of course, some of it's water weight.
Right.
Some of it's because they're on the detox because they were doing the wrong things. So it's not real fat. I always say, it takes a lot to gain a pound of real fat. A lot of our 5 to 6 pounds is water that we fluctuate with. But if you don't take it off, you'll keep building on it.
Right.
And that's how all of a sudden you look back and you go, how did this happen?
Well, would you say water consumption is one of the most important things or not really? To lose weight.
To
increase your water.
No, I mean, you should increase your water just because your body needs it, but it absolutely will help you feel fuller. I always say with my menus, drink 8 ounces before each meal.
Right.
And it'll really help you make sure you're eating because you're hungry and not thirsty.
So you have that, the book, Cheat Day Rules. What are your top 3 cheat day rules?
Okay, my top 3 would be...
If I said, Josephine, tomorrow's my cheat day, what do you say? Okay, well, don't do this, do this.
Okay, really, the Cheat Day Rules books is more about the 6 days.
Oh, gosh.
Okay. That's okay. But just to give you an idea, I do tell clients, mindful on your cheat day, always. A lot of times if you're going out at night, do you really want to be off all day on program and then, go out feeling bloated? Stay on program, go out to eat and have what you want and have your drinks, and do your thing. But it's really the 6 days. And again, it brings us back to when you're on program for 6 days, those are your weight loss days. Your cheat day is the light at the end of the tunnel. That's one. 2, it's so good for you to have your cheat day or your cheat meal. It confuses the body. You were so good 6 days. You have your cheat meal. It's confused. It's almost like you're starting all over again the day after.
Right.
So that really helps. And basically the third one is you're just really training your body and your appetite to eat less on those 6 days. And that's what's really important because that's what this is really all about. A lot of times you have to remember, if you're trying to lose weight, that means you were overeating to begin with. So now you have to train yourself to eat less. And when I say less, it's not you're starving yourself. You're eating probably what you're supposed to be eating.
Right.
You were just eating too much. That's how you gained weight.
Right. So maybe half, whatever your plate is, eat half of it or something?
Sure. You could do the whole small plate. There's so many ways to lose weight. It's just more than anything, it's consistency is everything. You have to do it every day.
Well, where does exercise come in on that?
So I think it's great. I exercise every day, but do you need it to lose weight? No. It's all about your food.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. I have multiple podcast clients who lost 50, 60 pounds that look amazing that have never worked out in their life. They just can't. They don't, not medical, they just don't like it.
Wow. But I mean, I guess I subscribe to the, lifting weights and things is so important.
It's that's a totally different subject.
Yeah.
Like I'm saying you can lose weight without exercise. but you can't. It's always about the food.
Yeah.
Okay. You can't lose weight if your food's not right. You could lift weights all you want.
Right.
And if you're not eating right, you're going to get thick. You're going to have mass. Okay. Mm-hmm. But if you're eating right and you're lifting weights, then you're going to lose weight.
Right.
And you're going to have, a nice defined look. But if you're just exercising, you're not going to lose weight without your food being on program or on, schedule for weight loss. But, so that's what you have to remember. It's really important. Your food is key with weight loss.
So it's all that saying, it's like made in the kitchen or something, like whatever that phrase is. It's like, it's true.
I know what you're thinking. Yeah.
Right. I can't remember it. I'm sure people are listening like it, and they're yelling it into radio. But, I guess it's so true. It's so true. So do you have a vision for the next 5 years for business?
Well, we just keep growing. We just moved. So we were in our store in Woodbury, and we basically doubled the size last year.
Wow.
Only a year ago.
How great.
Moved to the shopping center right next door.
Oh, well,
so
that's
it's
great.
so convenient. Yeah. And so we're just growing, and we're really just changing, I think, how people realize, like, okay, I can eat foods I love and lose weight. I think that's the biggest thing for me, because it's very hard to stick to a piece of fish and chicken and vegetables every single day of your life. You just can't do it. So you need options.
Right. So we have about... okay. My producer just said abs are built in the gym and revealed in the kitchen.
That's right, but you won't see those abs if you have a layer of fat over them.
Thanks, Joe. That's true. That's true. So we have about a minute and a half left, and so what has been the hardest part about building your business, would you say?
The hardest part, I would say, I don't really know. I can't say hard. I would say it's work. I'm always working. So, but I do spend, so I guess the hardest part, but it's not really hard to me, I don't really have free time. So I don't go out to dinner with friends. I don't go away. Everything is work and my family.
Wow.
Because any spare time I have, it's with my family.
Wow. So then that goes to my next question. Josephine, what is your passion in life?
I guess, my family is everything to me. But my clients, my store, I just love it all. I love what I do, and I think that is the most important thing.
Well, you are helping people.
Thank you.
Right?
Yes.
And you have found your calling, clearly. All right. Well, a big thank you to Josephine Fitzpatrick for coming on the show. Head to her website, innovationweightlossandfitness.com. Her podcast is Love to Live Healthy, and her book, Cheat Day Rules. You've been listening to Secrets of Powerful Women. Head to Powerful Women USA to get on the newsletter, listen to previous shows. Thank you so much for listening to the show, Celebrating and Empowering Women. I'm Jill Conway. I hope you're inspired to pursue your goals, believe in yourself, make a change, and be courageous. I'm here to remind you that your voice matters and that your story has power. Ladies, we are stronger together, and together we are unstoppable. I hope you join me next time.